Hello, hello, dear ones. Grateful to be here with you, as is the Council of Light. And I just had something happen right before I went live that I haven't had happen in quite some time, which is my ears started to feel like they do when you're on an airplane and the pressure, and you need to like yawn or reset that eustachian tube. So that's an indicator that we're about to go up a few octaves. So we're just encouraging you to ground and to balance the electrical and magnetic energy in all systems, components, and levels of your being. Some part of you knows how to do that. As is with all these transmissions, when we make a request and invite you into a particular choice, it's really an invitation for you to partner with your higher self and for your higher self to use your energetic fields to work with the guides to make the energetic shift. And in all these transmissions, we are never doing anything to you or for you because that would disempower you. These transmissions are meant to model the divine collaboration and oneness, where we help make you aware of what your choices really are, and then you can choose in a direction or not. And there's no judgment around what you choose. It's simply a choice and an invitation. And so, as we dance throughout this journey today, we're going to look at this where there's been kind of a wrestling match or kinked hoses in relationship to masculine energy. And so, ultimately, the external is always the reflection. But we're going to speak in terms of the stories, the scripts, the different tangos that have occurred with masculine energy and what the mind has decided is masculine, what the mind has judged as right, wrong, good, or bad around it. And we're going to help to rebalance that, recognizing that whether a discordant behavior or situation or circumstance reflects whether it's male or female oriented involvement, whatever, what we reach for is the empowered perspective that it's all learning and it's nobody's fault per se. But with this idea of all the journeys you've journeyed, you've had tangos with males. You yourself have been a male in certain incarnations. Maybe you are in this incarnation. And there's been a play out of distortion in some way, shape, or form in this idea, this framework of it being a learning of some kind. And we often refer to this idea of there being mud wrestling matches going on in polarity. And there's been a lot of mud wrestling in the masculine energies and a lot of judgment and overlays that have been placed upon it. From a zoomed out perspective, there have been lifetimes where there have been the feminine, you would call feminine, female leadership that's been distorted. And there have been lifetimes where there were masculine, male players, individuals in that role of leadership that was also distorted. So both have played out. The reason we're focusing in on the masculine right now is that we are in the midst of a retirement of the patriarchy that's currently expressing. And so in this incarnation, a lot is, and right now with the retirement, everything's really loud right now. It's coming up to be seen for what it is. It's triggering stuff. It's triggering stuff from previous incarnations. It's triggering all the unresolved issues and challenges around masculine energy. And underneath all of the distortion and the overlays is the true divine masculine, the true divine template for that masculine energetic expression. And from our perspective, the male, the female, the masculine, the feminine is aspects of a cyclical, a union, a unified consciousness. They are different aspects, and each individual soul has aspects of both the masculine and feminine energies within, as part of the template, as part of the divine design. And so what we'd like to bring forward today And it's going to serve as a bit of an introduction to the series that starts on Sunday, which is all about harmonizing the divine masculine fully and resetting, restoring that original divine blueprint without any overlays, without any distortion, so that you have a solid structure foundation with which to bloom and create in the higher octaves that are being moved into or being ascended into the more harmonic new earth dimensions that are birthing at this time, that you're helping to birth at this time. And this type of work helps with the birthing of new earth, the new human. And it's all about restoring that original sacred geometric configuration of the divine blueprint of the divine masculine. So we're going to just bring in an energetic process to help with the retiring of the distortions and anywhere we're pushing against, fighting against, judging, trying to make wrong or bad any current or previous incarnation expressions of the male, of the masculine, as being wrong or bad. It's almost like this idea of any abuse of power in male form was then labeled as, oh, that's masculine. And there's this term going around in current times, toxic masculinity, that has really placed a lot of shame, overlaid self-hatred, overlaid all the trauma that hasn't been fully processed onto the masculine, the male energies. And so anytime we place something external, we're also doing it to ourselves. So it's like we're shaming our own masculine within anytime we judge the masculine as wrong or bad. Now, distorted energy is distorted energy, and it results from a perception of not being connected to source, separation consciousness. And so rather than blaming a group, recognize that, oh, it's just separation consciousness playing out in masculine form. In this case, it could also play out very similarly in feminine form, and probably has in previous incarnations when there was a matriarchy structure. And just play with this idea that it's a pendulum. It's happened in all forms, in all ways, cycles upon cycles upon cycles of learning and separation consciousness, where you've seen the side of every coin, you've experienced it, you've milked it in order to get the learning. You wanted to experience all sides of the coin, all facets of the diamond, as many perspectives as you could, because you knew that's how you would have the most growth, the most expansion as a being, the highest level of learning. You would understand energetically all of it. And simultaneously, you would help to create the pathways of light, the way out of the distortion, because you're doing it for you. And as you do it for you, as you retire and heal all the separation-based conditioning, playouts, traumas, old patterns, you evolve beyond it, you show the way for how to evolve beyond it. That's the side effect. It populates in the collective consciousness. Oh, here's a pathway I could follow. Maybe I'll do it my way, but follow a similar path. And so play with this idea that anywhere you're currently in a schism with masculinity in any form, it represents, the guides are saying, it represents somewhere where it's unhealed in a previous incarnation, and it's showing up again now so you can see it, so it can be fully gone beyond. So we're going to bring in an energetic process for that, and it requires your willingness and your choice. So we're not doing this to you or for you. It's simply you choosing between a liberation of a conditioning, of an entanglement, in a distortion, in a fight, in a battle with a certain idea, concept, separation-based perceptions, It's like we were hypnotized in a way by separation consciousness to perceive something as wrong or bad. And in actuality, it was somebody we hired to play a certain role for us to get a certain learning. It's nobody being right, wrong, good, or bad. And that's always the case. It's not always easy to reach for that perspective. And that's why we can't do it alone, meaning as the small self, seeing through the lens of only what we perceive at this level. It requires us to completely forgive and release it to take the hand of our higher self. So we encourage you to do that. We encourage your body, David, to do that, your teams to do that to the degree that you're choosing it. It's really a liberation that you're choosing from a distortion, from a separation-based mud wrestling match with the masculine in some way. And again, we use the word masculine, small, all small letters in quotes. It's what's been decided, judged, overlaid. And what the masculine in separation consciousness has been, it's like we've been conditioned to perceive it a certain way. And again, we projected a lot of our shame currently, anger, shame, guilt onto the divine, onto the masculine. Excuse me, I correct myself. We've projected stuff, we projected overlays onto the masculine, making it no longer divine masculine. And what that creates is this little bit of resistance and this with our own divine masculine energy that's actually pure and true and aligned and incredible. And there's all these overlays on it. So anytime we even hear the word masculine, we can go into a bit of contraction. We can go into a bit of resistance because there's unhealed stuff there. And again, overlays that might not even be yours. They could have been ancestral, could have been parents. Maybe you grew up in a household where your parents were divorced and you were with your mother, and your mother was always bad-mouthing men because she didn't have a good experience with the one she married. There could be a lot of reasons for this. And so take a moment, just presence your own, where you are right now with it. It's like where you are in relationship to when you hear the word masculine, when you think about it, when you feel into it. Is there a schism that comes up? Maybe it's a particular male that you had a bad experience with. Maybe it was, again, things you were conditioned with growing up, things you heard later on, read in a book, whatever it was. Just notice and maybe jot it down. And anywhere there's a kinked hose with the idea of masculine is symbolic of where there's a lack of forgiveness somewhere. And again, play with the idea that in this incarnation, you're bringing everything up out of the energetic closet that happened in previous incarnations. So triggers in this incarnation are a reflection of something that wishes to heal from a previous incarnation. We don't have to know what that was, but it helps to orient appropriately when we recognize I'm not even really upset about this thing that happened yesterday or 10 years ago. It's probably something from a previous incarnation that reflected as that experience that I haven't fully healed. And we don't have to know what it was. Your higher self knows. We'll bring that in a moment. So just giving you a moment to orient, and then we're going to invite you at the level of your higher self, your body, Deva's higher self, and your teams to work with the energetic fields and the guides to orient, bringing all of your energy, your awareness, your focus back into the present moment, into your column of light. You are light. You are a being of light that emanates directly from source. And we have generated a very safe and supportive container for you to shift you if you choose. We invite you to bring in the appropriate energetic downloads you require at this time. It's almost like the cliff notes of everything we're speaking to in an energetic form, far beyond the mind. Inviting you to lean into the perspective of you as an eternal being that has lived many, many, many incarnations, dancing in separation consciousness. mud wrestling matches, lots of mud wrestling matches, including this incarnation, but also many, many previous incarnations. And you don't have to know with the mind, the linear mind. Let your higher self start to track, inviting your higher self to start to track your guides, your team, your body deva with its higher self, teams with their higher selves to track all the moments of the mud wrestling matches that involved the divine, that involved, I'm going to correct myself again, that involved masculine energy. And we'll say in a distortion, in an expression of distortion, or perceived as a distortion. And anywhere it's still generating for you a resistance to, a judgment of, it's like where you're at odds with masculine energy because of unhealed experiences where you experienced it in a distorted way. And maybe it was in another, or maybe it was in yourself. Just going to include all those incarnations where you yourself were in male form. And maybe you're in resistance to, not even aware of it, something you did in a previous incarnation in masculine form that was discordant. It was a learning. It was for growth. We're just collecting all that data, helping you collect all that data with your higher self, far beyond the intellect, and inviting you at the level of your higher self, body, Deva's higher self, and teams to set up the appropriate debriefs at the end of those incarnations, where you can take your time reviewing all the lessons you were learning, recognizing that from a higher perspective, you scripted it, you contracted certain souls to play certain roles for you, so that you're not holding yourself hostage if you played a role for another that was discordant. Oh, they hired me to do that, or oh, I hired them to do that. So just letting that happen in appropriate timing, debrief, far beyond the mind, millions of moments. And as you get the clarity, we're going to invite your higher self, your body's higher self, and teams to work with the energetic fields and the guides to activate the vibrations of the spiritual lessons you were after, and to move through the appropriate vibrational transformation fully, releasing any trauma, returning any power, any fragments that aren't yours, returning any responsibility that's not yours, returning any energies, karma, issues, challenges that aren't yours, back to its right and perfect place, along with all relevant and appropriate energetic information. And maybe these are many, many moments of schisms with a father figure, father energy of some kind. We're just inviting healing for all of that, for all those moments, inviting your higher self to the degree that you choose it to completely forgive and release everyone involved, including self. Are you willing to forgive and release fully? From the perspective that it was a learning, that you are an eternal being. Updating who you perceive yourself as beyond that trauma, beyond that mud wrestling match. Retrieving any of your power, any of your fragments, any of your magnetic attraction, any of your gifts, your wisdom, your mastery, your control off of everyone, everything in the outer, back to you in a whole and healed state. Cleaning it, recalibrating it, re-embedding it appropriately, reweaving it appropriately, getting all your attachment, your creative energy back on you. Reinterpreting your relationship with all of it to a higher octave, to the degree that you choose. Higher self, engage. Allowing it to move to a place of completion and integrating it fully in those debriefs, in those healing chambers. you, your body, Deva, and your teams. And then once it's completely integrated, fully processed, inviting you, your body, your teams to ripple and reflect that healing through the time spiral continuum appropriately to the present moment and beyond. The Council of Light, the guides, the Ascended Masters are applauding, they're cheering, they're saying so much just shifted for each of you. They're cheering you on, they're cheering and celebrating the upgrade that just occurred. Is literally an elevation. We invite a balancing and stabilizing of all your energetic fields, updating all grids, all reference points, all ways in which you perceive and are perceived, inviting you to shake out, reboot, and then take a moment and just thinking about masculine now. Are you willing to release the meaning you've given it and allow your higher self to reinterpret your relationship with masculine to a higher octave in a way that honors you moving forward and aligns you with the undistorted masculine, the harmonic masculine expressions? Because we're no longer giving power to the other. And then balance and stabilize, update all grids, all reference points, all ways in which you perceive and are perceived. And the guides are saying you might want to re-listen to this a few times if it really felt like it was big for you, or if it resonates to listen again, because it will get different layers each time you listen. And this was good. This was big today. This was like step one in what we're going to be doing in the 3-week series that starts on Sunday, the 26th. And again, I'm just going to repeat. We'll put a link below if you want to learn more about it. But it's all about restoring the original blueprint for you, divine masculine, so that the divine feminine feels supported to take flight, to rise, to elevate, to expand. And in this case, it does take two to tango, but it's really a oneness, a union. The divine masculine then can unite with the feminine, and there's no stopping you. The divine masculine within unites with the divine feminine, and creation abounds. Harmonic creation abounds. And this is also about supporting you in the process of ascension, because as you ascend, certain aspects of your divine template will reignite, will be remembered, will activate. And you need that solid foundation. It's like a safe container of that divine masculine that's harmonized, that's balanced, that then you feel safe and supported to activate and to bloom. It's literally, I'm being shown an energetic blooming, like certain aspects of you being activated, and it's like this growth of, I'm seeing sacred geometry and light blooming. And that's the new human. So this is a gateway to that, if it resonates for you, to journey with us. And it also includes 2 nights a week, dream time, energetic support, as well as the 3 90-minute transmissions of light. And we hope that you'll journey with us and feel into whether it resonates for you to do so. One of the things I would say is that up until now, if you haven't felt supported, if you consistently feel like you can't get forward motion, traction in the direction you desire, there's no motivation or drive, that's an indicator that this is the nugget for you. And they're just showing, the guides are showing difficulty moving forward, difficulty getting clarity, difficulty wanting to create anything, or getting like no desire, or like no pulse in a direction. It's an indicator some part of you is waiting for this foundation to move into, it's like greater support, so that you can begin to reach for what is yours to be, do, and have. So Thank you for journeying with us today. We enjoy these energetic conversations and transmissions, and we enjoy getting to support you in your journey to the degree that it resonates for you. Please feel free to share your feedback in the comments below, and feel free to also share this work with those who might resonate. We look forward to connecting with you all very soon, and we want to thank you for showing up. Much love.